Imperial armor is damn heavy.
It's not that bad.
How'd you end up here?
My father was Legionnaire, and his before him. I guess I never considered doing anything else. So long since I killed the storm.
Great work.
Sort of.
Get back and report our success. I'll stay here and clean up the mess. Glad you were here. I've done it without you.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and I have to wonder, what does the Dragonborn do once he's summoned by the Greybeards?
Off the coast, a ways to the east.
Now that we have Winterhold, I can garrison some troops there until I'm ready to march on Windhelm. I have come to rely heavily upon you. It is only fitting that you join the upper echelon. I am hereby elevating you to the rank of Legate. On behalf of the Empire and myself, please accept this gift along with your new rank. Congratulations. You've little time to glory in your accomplishments. We're gathering our final assault on Windhelm. Report to our camp in Eastmarch.
Citizen? The Imperials think us all lawless beasts. I'm proof of their ignorance.
Next Imperial I see is dead.
I'm on my way to Solid. I was born and raised in Skyrim, but the Nords treat us like dirt.
I'm sick of waiting. When are we gonna see some action? It's so long since I killed the Stormcloak. The sword is getting flabby.
Something to report? Your objective is the enemy-held fort. Meet the soldiers preparing for the attack, then join them in wiping out the rebels. Once you prevail, we will garrison the fort. Well, soldier, are you up to the task?
So why'd you join up?
I knew I could count on you, soldier.
Father was a legionnaire. Days before him. I guess I've never considered doing anything else.
Keep your guard up.
Those flames get out of control, and you're gonna wish they hadn't.
Yes, champion of Azura.
you want? Kill you!
Victory is yours. I submit. Call yourself a warrior?
We're taking the city! Meet the soldiers gathering for the attack! Move it!
Been so long since I killed a Stormcloak. My sword arm's getting flabby. Still Or where I took that arrow. I hate archers.
Yeah, I know.
You there. The Dawn Guard is looking for anyone willing to help against the growing vampire menace. What do you say?
Behind the walls of his castle. We will fight our way in and drag him out through the rubble to face justice. Because this is the end for them. The Stormcloaks will fight like cornered rats.
Isran's going to like you. Go talk to him before Dawn Guard. Southeast of Riften. He'll decide if you're Dawn Guard material.
You are the best and the brightest warriors in Tamriel.
Report to Isran and Fort Dawn Guard. We're vampire hunters. We search out and destroy those blood-sucking scum wherever we find them. You're not paying attention then, like almost everyone else around here. Haven't you heard that the Hall of the Vigilance was destroyed by the vampires? They never took the threat seriously, and now they paid the price. The Vigilance mostly hunt down Daedra worshippers, which is why they got torn to pieces when they went up against vampires. That's why our leader, Isran, is re-establishing the Dawn Guard. Real, serious vampire hunters.
Ulfric Stormcloak, you are guilty of insurrection, murder of Imperial citizens, the assassination of King Torek, and high treason against the Empire. It's over.
Not while I'm still breathing.
Step aside, Galmar. We're here to accept Ulfric's surrender.
I'll never surrender Skyrim into the hands of a corrupt, dying empire.
Skyrim doesn't belong to you, Ulfric.
No, but I belong to her.
Enough! You are traitors and will die traitors' deaths. Stand down and face public execution, or advance in the summary execution by my hands. It matters little to me. Either way, I'll be sending your heads back to Cyrodiil.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Die, villain!
Do your work.
Well, Ulfric, you can't escape from me this time. Any last requests before I send you to wherever you people go when you die?
Sovngarde, sir.
Right. Well?
Let the Dragonborn be the one to do it. It'll make for a better song.
Song or not, I just want it done. Well, I'm not quite done myself.
Hallows be with you.
What was that, Legate?
Nothing. Just saying goodbye.
Well, the men will be expecting some kind of speech, and we'll need to hand the city over to that free winter fellow.
Runwolf. Yes, I've sent men to protect him and bring him here. Windhelm will need a government quickly if we are to prevent more violence.
The Legion will be staying here for quite some time. I don't expect there to be any further violence. Oh, and Legate, it's been an honor to have you at my side. As a token of my appreciation, I want you to keep my sword. And now to deliver a speech.
The rebellion is over. Ulfric Stormcloak is dead. His head will be sent to Cyrodiil, where it will adorn a spike on the walls of the Imperial City. Let this day be a final warning to all who would still call themselves Stormcloaks. We are turning the city over to Brunwolf Freewinter, an honorable and faithful man. Many of you will be staying in Windhelm to aid the Jarl in restoring order and stamping out any embers of rebellion that may still smolder here. In appreciation for your exemplary service, I am doubling your pay and compensation to the widows of your fallen comrades. I am proud of all of you. All hail the Emperor! All hail his legionnaires!
I hate giving speeches.
It wasn't so bad.
I hope we haven't just created a fire.
There's bound to be resistance. There are many Stormcloak camps tucked away in the hills. They'll no doubt strike whenever and wherever they can. But without Ulfric to inflame their passions, they'll settle down and return to their homes eventually.
I pray you're right, Legate. In the meantime, we'll continue to root them out and put them to the sword. We couldn't have done this without you. The Empire glories in your accomplishments. Come, Rika. There's still much to be done.
It's always good to see someone I can count on. Every Legionnaire's secret weapon lies in this. Knowledge of himself. And, like any forged between the hands...
We sure showed him, eh? Thanks for your part in all that. We sure showed him, eh? Thanks for your part in all that.
Ulfric is dead and his army destroyed. There's not much more I could ask of you. The gods, however, I suspect, may have plans for you elsewhere. That said, Stormcloak true believers are still operating out of hidden military camps in the hills. If you encounter any on your travels, kill them. With luck, they'll soon lose heart and return to their homes and families. If not, we'll be forced to put them all to the sword. The fiercest of the remaining rebels will continue to harass us, but by and large, the people here desire peace. What I'm not so sure about is the peace we've made with the Thalmor. But we'll keep that between the two of us, all right? No. I suspect Skyrim to be my home for many years. I can't say I'll ever get used to the damn cold or understand these Nords, but I've come to respect them. The harshness of Skyrim has a way of carving a man down to his true self. As you were.
Wind, guide you. Dovahkiin. Your sky above, voice within. We study the way of the voice, according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege towards mastery of your voice. Sky, guard you.
You have learned so much already, Dragonborn. Growing your gift too quickly would be dangerous. But there are many words of power in Skyrim, carved in the dragon tongue. Even from here we can feel the Thu'um resonate from them. Finding these lost words would be a sufficient test to temper your abilities with experience. Ask when you are ready to search. We have felt the whisper of a word. Give me your map and I will show you where its echo can be found. The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance. He was a great war leader of the ancient Nords, a master of the voice, or tongue. After the disaster at Red Mountain, where the Nord army was annihilated, he spent many years pondering the meaning of that terrible defeat. He finally came to realize that the gods had punished the Nords for their arrogant and blasphemous misuse of the voice. He was the first to understand that the voice should be used solely for the glory and worship of the gods, not the glory of men. Jürgen Windcaller's mastery of the voice eventually overcame all opposition, and the way of the voice was born. The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance. Your training proceeds well, Dragonborn. Dragons have the inborn ability to learn and project their voice. Dragons also are able to absorb the power of their slain brethren. A few mortals are born with similar abilities. Whether a gift or a curse has been a matter of debate down through the centuries. What you have already learned in a few days took even the most gifted of us years to achieve. Some believe that Dragonborn are sent into the world by the gods at times of great need. We will speak more of that later, when you are ready. Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to? Yes, for matters of such gravity, we need to know where you stand, or who you stand with. Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes? Do not be so sure about that. Beware. The Blades may claim to serve the Dragonborn, but they do not. They never have. As for me, I kept from you only what you were not yet ready to know. Are still not ready to know, as your question reveals. No, not now. Not until you return to the path of wisdom. Dragonborn, wait. Forgive me, I was intemperate. I allowed my emotions to cloud my judgment. Master Einarth reminded me of my duty. The decision whether or not to help you is not mine to make. No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. Dragonrend, but unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragonrend holds no place within the way of the voice. It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable cruelty of Alduin's dragon cult. Their whole lives were consumed with hatred for dragons, and they poured all their anger and hatred into this shout. When you learn a shout, you take it into your very being. In a sense, you become the shout. In order to learn and use this shout, you will be taking this evil into yourself. Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses. He is our leader. He surpasses us all in his mastery of the way of the voice. He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege. Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax. The path to Paarthurnax lies through this gate. I will show you how to open the way. Look. This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well.
an axe. Who are you? What brings you to my Strumach, my mountain? I am as my father Akatosh made me, as are you, Dovahkiin. Tell me, why do you come here, Volan? Why do you intrude on my meditation? Drem. Patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove. By long tradition, the Elder speaks first. Hear my Thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin. The word calls you. Go to it. Understand fire as the Dove do. Now, show me what you can do. Greet me not as mortal, but as Dova. Why? You delay. Are you? Dovahkiin or not? Ah, yes. Sosedo Vrostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind. So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a Jor, mortal. Even for one of Dova Sos, dragon blood. What would you ask of me? Ah, I have expected you, Proda. You would not come all this way for Tinvak with an old Dova. No, you seek your weapon against Alduin. Yes, they are very protective of me, Bachlan Fadon. But I do not know the Thum you seek, Croesus. It cannot be known to me. Your kind, Jor, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts. Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this Thum? Yes, Alduin Zebach, the elder brother, gifted, grasping, and troublesome, as is so often the case with firstborn. But why? Why must you stop Alduin? True, but Kostid, prophecy, tells what may be, not what should be. Kostid Salo Ak. Just because you can do a thing does not always mean you should. Do you have no better reason for acting than destiny? Are you nothing but a plaything of Des, of fate? You have not answered my question. Why do you need to learn this Thum? You have not answered my question. Why do you need to learn this Thum? Yes, Alduin Zebach, the elder brother, gifted, grasping, and troublesome, as is so often the case with firstborn. But why? Why must you stop Alduin? True, but Kostid, prophecy, tells what may be, not what should be. Kostid Salo Ak. Just because you can do a thing does not always mean you should. Do you have no better reason for acting than destiny? Are you nothing but a plaything of Des, of fate? If you can see your destiny clearly, your sight is clearer than mine. Dahman, remember, Alduin also follows his destiny as he sees it. But I bow. In a way, I envy you. The curse of much knowledge is often indecision. But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough. Croesus. Now I will answer your question. Do you know why I live here, at the peak of the Monavin, what you name Throat of the World? This is the most sacred mountain in Skyrim, Zokravakstruma, the great mountain of the world. Here, the ancient tongues, the first mortal masters of the voice, brought Alduin to battle and defeated him. Yes and no. Viknuznikron. Alduin was not truly defeated either. If he was, you would not be here today seeking to defeat him. The Nords of those days used the Dragonrend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time. Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever, forever lost. Meye. I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day, he would surface. Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when. How to explain in your tongue? The Dove have words for such things that Jor do not. It is an artifact from outside time. It does not exist, but it has always existed. Rahwatlan. They are fragments of creation. The Kele, Elder Scrolls as you name them, they have often been used for prophecy. Yes, your prophecy comes from an Elder Scroll. But this is only a small part of their power. Zofa Sulyek. Tid Krent. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin. If you brought that Kell, that Elder Scroll, back here to the Tid Ahran, the Time Wound, with the Elder Scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it. Croesus, no. I know little of what has passed below in the long years I have lived here. You are likely better informed than I. Trust your instincts, Dovahkiin. Your blood will show you the way. Vormendok, I do not know. Perhaps in the very doing, they erased the knowing of it from time itself. The Dove are children of Akatosh. Thus, we are specially attuned to the flow of time. Perhaps also uniquely vulnerable. I warned them against such a rash action. Even I could not foresee its consequences. Nust Lihorn, they would not listen. Yes, there were a few of us that rebelled against Alduin Stur, his tyranny. We aided the humans in his overthrow. But they did not trust us, ni Ov. Their inner councils were kept hidden from us. I was far from here on the day of Alduin's downfall, but all Dove felt the sundering of time itself. Return it here to the Tid Achran. Then, Kele Vomindok. Nothing is certain with such things. But I believe the scroll's bond with the Tid Achran will allow you a seeing, a vision of the moment of its creation. Then you will feel, know Dragonrend in the power of its first expression. You will see them, Wuthfadon, my friends, Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir. The first mortals that I taught the Thum, the first tongues, the leaders of the rebellion against Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt to defeat Alduin. Sahrot Hun, the Nords have had many heroes since, but none greater. I cannot tell you in detail. I never heard it used. Kogan. It was the first Thum created solely by mortals. It was said to force a dragon to experience the concept of mortality. A truly von Mindoran. Incomprehensible idea to the immortal Dove. I have taught the way of the voice for centuries, and the Thum since long before that. But no, Dovahkiin, other anymore. Saran, you are the first in over 100 years. I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their use. It is enough for me. Knowing a word of power is to take its meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master. Fus, Faim, and Yol. Fade in your tongue. Mortals have greater affinity for this word than the Dove. Everything mortal fades away in time, but the spirit remains. Ponder the meaning of spirit, Unslad Zi, where mortal flesh may wither and die, the spirit endures. That is fine. Let that meaning fill you, Sum Ark Mora. You will find that your spirit will give you more strength. Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fus, Faim, or Yol? Fade in your tongue. Mortals have greater affinity for this word than the Dove. Everything mortal fades away in time, but the spirit remains. Drem Yolok, greetings. Lok Thum. Speak, I will listen. Vomendok, I do not know. Perhaps in the very doing, they erased the knowing of it from time itself. The Dove are children of Akatosh. Thus, we are specially attuned to the flow of time. Perhaps also uniquely vulnerable. I warned them against such a rash action. Even I could not foresee its consequences. Nust Lihon, they would not listen. Yes, there were a few of us that rebelled against Alduin Stur, his tyranny. We aided the humans in his overthrow. But they did not trust us, ni Ov. Their inner counsels were kept hidden from us. I was far from here on the day of Alduin's downfall, but all Dove felt the sundering of time itself. Return it here to the Tid Achran. Then, Kele Vomindok. Nothing is certain with such things. But I believe the scroll's bond with the Tid Achran will allow you a seeing, a vision of the moment of its creation. Then you will feel, know Dragonrend in the power of its first expression. You will see them, Uthfadon, my friends, Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir. The first mortals that I taught the Thum, the first tongues, the leaders of the rebellion against Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt to defeat Alduin. Sahrot Hun, the Nords have had many heroes since, but none greater. Ark Mora.